There is a forest deep within the heart of the wild, a place untouched by time, where the trees stretch higher than the eye can see, their gnarled branches twisting and turning like the hands of ancient beings. The air is thick, heavy with the scent of damp earth and the whispers of forgotten stories. Mist clings to the ground, creeping along the forest floor, wrapping around the thick trunks of oak and pine as if it has a mind of its own. It's a place where silence reigns, broken only by the occasional snap of a twig or the rustle of unseen creatures. The forest feels alive, watching, waiting. But within this shadowed expanse, there is a legend, a creature of both man and beast, known only as the Dogman. With the body of a man and the head of a wolf, it is said to roam these woods, its glowing eyes watching from the darkness. Some say it is a guardian, protecting the forest from those who would dare to enter. Others believe it's a curse, one that must never be disturbed. But one thing is certain, the Dogman is real. Or at least, that's what the stories say. The legend's origins. The origins of the Dogman are as shrouded in mystery as the forest itself. It is said that long before the first settlers arrived in these woods, the indigenous tribes spoke of a creature, one that was neither entirely human nor animal. They called it the Wendigo's shadow, or simply the beast of the wild. Stories passed down through generations painted a picture of a creature born of both the spirit world and the physical realm, a being of incredible power, woven into the fabric of the land itself. As time passed, the tale of the Dogman spread, carried by explorers and settlers who heard whispers of strange noises, glowing eyes, and the eerie sounds of footsteps where none should be. Those who ventured too far into the woods would return, shaken, speaking of an overwhelming presence, something that lurked just beyond sight, watching them from the shadows. Local farmers, hunters, and fishermen began to tell their own stories about their encounters in the dark corners of the forest. Some claimed to have seen the creature with their own eyes. Others swore they heard it howling at the moon, a sound so haunting that it rattled the bones. Over the years, the legend of the Dogman became more than a mere story. It became a warning, a reminder that the wild, untamed world was not meant to be conquered. Encounters with the Dogman. Over the centuries, countless encounters have been reported, each more chilling than the last. People from all walks of life, hunters, hikers, and even the occasional curious traveler, have ventured into the depths of the forest, only to leave with stories that are hard to believe, yet impossible to ignore. One of the most famous accounts comes from a group of hunters in the late 1800s. They were tracking game near the outskirts of the forest when they heard something unusual, a low growl, almost like a distant thunderstorm, rumbling through the trees. At first, they dismissed it as the sound of a bear, but as they ventured deeper, they began to feel an unshakable unease. Suddenly, one hunter spotted movement through the underbrush, a figure standing on two legs, covered in dark, matted fur. The creature's eyes gleamed like fire in the dim light, and before the hunter could react, it vanished into the forest, leaving behind only the echo of its growl. There are others who've seen it, or perhaps felt it, without ever truly laying eyes on the creature. A fisherman who once camped by the river recalled hearing heavy footsteps behind him, crunching in the dry leaves. When he turned, there was nothing there, just the sound of the wind in the trees. But the feeling that something was watching him lingered long after. Another harrowing tale comes from a young couple who decided to take a hike through the forest in the 1970s. As night fell, they noticed a shadow moving alongside them, though nothing was there when they looked. The presence seemed to grow stronger, closer, and with every step, the air grew colder. Suddenly, they heard a deep, bone-chilling howl from the distance, a sound that made the hairs on their necks stand up. Terrified, they ran, but when they finally reached the safety of their car, they looked back. In the dim glow of the headlights, they swear they saw a pair of glowing eyes staring at them from the edge of the woods. The Dogman, it seems, is a creature of shadows, a presence felt, but never fully seen. the Dogman's powers and nature. There are many theories about the Dogman, what it truly is, where it came from, and why it remains so elusive. Some believe it is an ancient creature, a guardian spirit of the forest, born of both man and wolf, created to maintain the balance between nature and the human world. Others suggest it is a cryptid, a creature from the hidden corners of the earth, existing just outside of human understanding. One of the most compelling aspects of the Dogman is its supernatural abilities. Witnesses who have encountered it describe a creature of extraordinary strength, far beyond the capability of any normal animal. It is said that the Dogman can move with unnatural speed, darting between trees and disappearing into the shadows before anyone has a chance to react. Some even believe it has the ability to hear things that no human can, a sort of heightened supernatural sense of awareness. Its senses are so sharp, in fact, that it can track a person through thick brush and forest with ease. Then there is the fear it invokes. The Dogman's presence is not just physical, it's something more. People who've encountered the creature often speak of a sense of dread, an overwhelming feeling of being watched, even when the creature is hidden. It is as though the Dogman has the ability to manipulate the very air around it, creating an almost hypnotic effect that paralyzes those who come too close. Some say the Dogman is not just a beast, but an ancient spirit tied to the land, an otherworldly protector who keeps the forest wild and untamed. Whether it's the guardian of the woods or a creature born from the darkness, one thing is certain: the Dogman has a presence, a power that no one can quite understand. A recent encounter. Though the Dogman has been a part of local lore for centuries, recent encounters suggest that the legend is far from fading. One chilling account comes from a group of modern-day hikers, 4 friends, all experienced outdoorsmen, who decided to venture into the heart of the forest, seeking adventure. They had heard the stories, of course, but to them, the Dogman was just another myth, another campfire tale. They set up camp near an old riverbank, the sky darkening as they built their fire and settled in for the night. The air grew colder, the wind whispering through the trees. But it wasn't the weather that unsettled them. As the night deepened, they began to notice something strange, a growing sense of unease, a feeling of being watched. The sound of footsteps, heavy and deliberate, came from the surrounding woods. The crunch of twigs, the movement of leaves, too rhythmic, too precise. One of the men, eager to prove there was nothing to fear, ventured away from the fire. He walked into the darkness, calling out to his friends to follow, but no one did. The silence stretched, the tension growing thicker. He never returned. The remaining hikers, panic rising, searched until dawn, but there was no sign of their friend. Only the smell of wet earth, the chill in the air, and the lingering sense that something was still watching them, just beyond the reach of the firelight. The warning and the legacy. As the years go by, the Dogman's presence in the forest continues to haunt the minds of those who venture too close. And though its sightings are rare, the stories persist, passed down like a warning for those who dare to seek the truth. The Dogman, it seems, is not merely a creature of the wild. It is a guardian, a protector of the land. Its role is not to harm, but to warn. A reminder that the forest is not meant to be conquered. It is a force that must be respected, a powerful being that will protect its home from those who trespass without understanding the balance of nature. For centuries, the legend has been clear. The Dogman is not a beast to be hunted or studied. It exists to maintain the wildness of the forest, ensuring that humanity does not overstep its bounds. Those who enter the woods with respect are often left alone, but those who seek to exploit the land or disturb its harmony will feel the Dogman's wrath. It is a legacy built on caution and reverence, a timeless reminder that there are forces in this world that we cannot control. The Dogman is more than a story. It is a warning that the wild places of the world still hold their secrets, and those who seek them must tread carefully. Conclusion. The forest's secret. And so the Dogman remains, an enduring mystery in the shadowed depths of the forest. Despite all the stories, the sightings, and the legends passed down through the generations, the truth about the creature remains elusive, hidden beneath the thick canopy of trees. For some, the Dogman is just a tale to tell around a campfire, a story to thrill and chill. For others, it is a living, breathing reality, a force that reminds us that the wild is not a place for the uninvited. The forest holds its secrets, locked away in the dark corners where the human eye dares not look. Perhaps in time, someone will uncover the full truth about the Dogman. But until then, the forest will continue to guard its ancient mystery, its silent protector waiting for the next to venture too far, its eyes glowing faintly in the distance, watching, waiting. And so the legend lives on, just as it always has, woven into the very fabric of the wild, a secret known only to the forest and the Dogman.